What is up, everybody, and welcome back. Oh, yeah. I am back on your TV screen. I am back. And I bring two people. So Noah's like, this kid's out of his damn mind.
I love it. This is my kind of energy.
Yeah.
Two people. You usually see me and a guest, or me and Rick. We just switched it up on you peoples.
That's right.
We are here to break down Bad Batch episode 1, 2, and not just 2, 3. Woo! We are here.
3.
We are live. 3 episodes. And guess what? 3 episodes, 3 people. Do the math. That's 6, but we don't have 6 things to do here. Just so you know, for all the math wizards out there, it's okay. I get it. I feel you.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Rick, Noah, welcome.
Freaking awesome to be here. Love that intro. Love that energy. It's my kind of vibe, you know.
Like,
Yeah, I'm used to it by now.
Yeah.
I got a preview last week, but that was just the next level.
Rick was like, "Yeah, this kid is out of his mind, but I understand because I've been knowing him for years now, so I get it." Like,
each time the intros just get longer and longer, or they get shorter and shorter.
It does. And you know what? I feel like with Rick, like me and Rick known each other. So when he texts me and I text him back and I go, "Oh yeah," he hears that in his ears.
Well, now I know too. So it's like now I'm in on it. It's like, all right.
Because I do text everybody that, and they'll be like, "Of course." But we are back.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, I'm back. You know, and I have 2 of my friends. And we're here to break down episodes 1, 2, and 3 of the Bad Batch. To me, they were great episodes. It started off slow. I didn't know where they were going with the story at first, but then it was like, now I understand where they're going. You know, my daughter's all grown up. Oh my God. I miss her. I already missed her, and I just saw her.
I missed her, honestly. It's nice to see her and, you know, some of the Bad Batch crew members back.
Yes.
I know.
It's very nice.
It is. What do you feel, Noah? How do you feel about Omega being back on our screens?
I mean, I'm about it. I mean, but it's the overall thing, like you guys just said. We caught up with Wrecker and Hunter. We caught up with Omega. Crosshair just looking absolutely defeated. So like throughout the 3 episodes, it was pretty nice to get like everyone's whereabouts and then set up where we're going for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I think like I felt with these episodes, the music was the best part of these episodes. Like the storytelling, of course, you know, the storytelling, of course, was amazing. But the music, I was like, I watched the episodes again, just maybe a couple hours ago, just to get an idea of like, okay, how am I going to break this down? How am I going to do it? But I was listening to the music. I was like, I was jamming to it on my seat. I was like, yeah, you know, I was like killing it. And then I was like, wow. I was like, this is so dark music. Like they're like the first episode was just like someone's ringing your doorbell really evilly. Like they're ready to come out of the door. Like, and then the second episode, you know, you get that little sigh of relief, you know, a little like that episode wasn't as dark. Then you fast forward to episode 3. I just got chills. Like I got chills when Palpatine entered the building.
Oh, yeah, that was my favorite part of all 3 episodes, just seeing him show up.
Yeah, like he just comes in like
him talking with his voice. Yeah, it just gives you chills, you know.
He was like, "I will summon you to the Galactic Empire," and I was like, "Oh God, no!"
It didn't sound like that, but yeah, just like that.
It didn't sound like that.
No, it didn't sound like that.
Cool.
Oh, guys, I try. You know, why can't you just say great job, Chris? Like you did amazing. Like, thank you, Rick. Like, that's what I was waiting. No, and that's the energy we need on this show right there.
I mean, yeah, I'm just calling it how we see it, you know? Both of us.
So, the first episode, we get Omega. And she's been stranded there for maybe 21 days. So 3 weeks she's been there. And then she goes through her routine.
It's more than 3 weeks.
I'm getting there, Rick.
Oh, sorry, yes.
God,
go ahead. Go ahead.
God. Just let her go.
Because I'm just thinking like all the tallies she wrote, you know?
It was in the beginning of the episode, Rick.
Right.
Yeah, okay. My apologies.
God, Rick. Now I got to start over.
Okay. From the intro. Welcome back. Okay.
So 21 days she's been there. You know, she looks out the window. She's there. What's her name for the sister? Amira? Is that how you say her name? Amira?
I thought it was
Myra? Myra?
I thought it was like Emily.
No. Emma?
Emma?
No, you were on the right track the first time. I just thought I'm trying to think of the pronunciation. It might be that.
I'm gonna say Emra. I'm gonna just say that name.
Emery or something like that.
I'll call her M. Omega's sister comes in the door and says she has lots of work to do. So she brings her to Nala Se, and Nala Se, to me, even looks defeated. Like, even the way the voice actor was doing her voice, it sounded so sad. Like, it doesn't sound like the Nala Se that we know on Camino, you know, or we've seen her in more, you know, and it's like she's like so sad, like she knows what's going on, she knows what's about to happen. So she asks Omega if she's been stamped, like take blood from, and Omega goes yes, like but we have to throw it out. So she throws it out. Then time passes. Rick, like now it's jumping like 5 months if you read the tallies. Like I was trying to get how many like 5s there are.
I think somebody said it was like 80 days or something like that, but that sounded like it might have been like more. I don't know.
Like that sounds like a good 3-4 months.
Yeah.
About full 30-day months or 31
There
days.
you go.
Thank you, Rick. See, I tried.
I was jumping ahead. I apologize.
Yeah. See, thank you. Apologizing. That's what I like. Effort. But yeah, so what did you guys think of the first episode of how Omega and the dynamic of her and Crosshair's relationship is in this cell, in this prison? You know, even we saw clones. Like, I felt so bad for the clones too. Like, not just Crosshair and Omega. Yeah. The clones were like so defeated. So like they get blood taken every day, and I guarantee you they don't really eat that much. You know, so they're really just they're just like trying to kill him at this point, just like bleeding them out at that point, you know? And what is the big mission for all this? You know, what is that? And then we see a little of it in episode 3, but people are saying it's Sidious, like another clone of Sidious, what they're creating, you know, or him coming back or stuff like that will lead into the movies, or it could even lead to Snoke. You know, I think we were talking about this, Noah, I think on our episode of Star Wars Talks, is that it started from like, it starts from Grogu, more of Grogu, but now we're getting it from Omega. You know, now it starts with Omega.
Yeah.
The cloning process.
Right.
And then it just forwards into the Mandalorian, even like, we didn't even see that in Rebels. We didn't even see any cloning in Rebels, really.
No, we didn't.
So, and Obi-Wan, we see it kind of starting, like, when he go rescue Leia, we saw that. But the cloning process is like, what's going on there? Like, what are they trying to really clone? You know, and why do they keep messing up? Because it's like, you're taking blood from these clones, and you know that they're not going to be a match. You tried every clone. You tried Crosshairs, and you're still taking blood from Crosshair. You know, you probably took Tech's blood. You probably took something of his, you know, and probably is making a clone of Tech, or making a clone of what Tech's nature is so smart tactics. You know, so what are you going to do with Omega's blood? What is her count is high. Her Mordichlorian count is high. But what is she? To me, I always said with Rick, she's force sensitive. I don't think she's going to start like pushing walls or like doing the force choke to people, but she is a force sensitive being. And I think that's what Nala Se was trying to protect all along, because if she was just a regular clone, you know, oh, okay.
Well, I think you saw that in the third episode, because, you know, the whole time they're talking about high M counts. Obviously, I assume, you know, everyone assumed that they were talking about midichlorian counts. So when they finally get Omegas in there, and it's, you know, glowing gold around it, like it's the prized one, well, I mean, there's got to be a reason hers is so high. Maybe that's because she has a genetic mutation in her cloning, or she has a high midichlorian count. And I assume the whole reason they keep taking blood from everybody, the same clones every day, is because, like, you saw the tubes like were like filling up every day. So I'm assuming maybe something happens, or
like that was
they
weird.
need
like,
the tube to fill up, but they can't take it all at once or something, or else they'll literally die.
You know, you saw their blood, and then they added more to it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, what are they doing with that? Like, what is that more adding the more blood to it? Is that someone else's blood? Or that's the clone's blood that they're just like mixing and matching? But
I figured it was just like they're taking my blood every day, but they're only taking a little bit at a time and letting it stack up, because if they take it all at once, you know, I might then that might kill me, you know what I mean? So that might be why they're so just like lethargic and like looking defeated, because they take it a lot, but just not. But like in increments. I think somebody else said there might be another reason why they keep taking it every day, but I can't really think of what the theory was out there. But yeah, Omega's I'd say she's most likely got a little bit of force sensitivity in her.
My daughter.
I'm seeing it. I'm really seeing it now. Yeah, I think they're gonna go that route with Omega. I mean, why else would they hide her, right? That does make sense. But I think they might go towards something away from Snoke, like the cloning of Snoke. I feel like they might do like a different project of cloning, perhaps. Maybe like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
some
perhaps
people
with
were
like
talking
a Zillow Beast, or maybe a clone of like Palpatine. I mean, we're hearing these rumors, you know, more and more now because of this episode, but we know it's coming. We know they're gonna try to connect, you know, the storyline with the sequels. But as of now, with the Bad Batch, I'm not sure if we're gonna see in that like clone chamber a Snoke.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that either. I think, I always say this, and I think I said it to you, Noah, or I said it to someone else, because I had so many people on my show, just Star Wars talk. You know,
you said it to me, Chris.
I think I've said it probably to you too, probably on the show. I just probably mentioned it to everybody. I think there's something bigger coming, like bigger than we know as a Star Wars world. You know,
that's pretty vague. I don't think you've mentioned this before.
Yeah, I really think like watching the Ahsoka series, watching all the series, and watching the Bad Batch, these episodes. It's like, okay, we know Palpatine had a plan when he would die, because eventually every evil, sinister being has wants to stay alive longer than they are, you know, and Palpatine is going to stay longer than he was. You know, the Rise of Skywalker, he came back, you know, we didn't know that, how would he come back? And then we know he's a clone, you know, or he's blood or something like that. He's not amazing looking, but you could see him deformed like he is in now. So I think something is more coming, even like Palpatine is planning something bigger, you know, because it always stems from Palpatine. It's going to start from him, you know? And like I said, he's an evil mastermind. He knew he was going to die eventually. Like, you're just going to know you're going to die eventually. But what are you going to leave behind? You know, what is that? Not legacy, but what is that? I can say legacy. What legacy are you going to leave behind for the rest of the people? Because now you see in Ahsoka, you see that, oh, Thrawn's returned in The Mandalorian. Thrawn, you know, Thrawn is easy to defeat. He's not hard. He's not a force-sensitive being. He'll beat you with his mind. Absolutely, he will. Like Sherlock Holmes will. He'll beat you with your mind. He'll outsmart you many of times. But he's not that being. He's not the being that you will hold the lightsaber with, the Force. He's not that powerful. He's not. What's after Thrawn? You know?
I mean, people have brought up, like, not necessarily something bigger, but, like, because obviously I think a lot of us think, like, oh, they're probably going to tie everything into the sequels. And, like, whatever. Like, go ahead. As long as it's good on the way there, I don't really, like, care. But, like, a lot of people are just like, well, we have a pretty good chunk of time, so, like, what if something came before that? And, like, but I'm like, well, this is, like, Vader time, so, like, what is, like, Palpatine's kind of setting up his, you know, contingency plan right now. What is underneath of that we never heard? And people, you know, have brung up that they might tie in stuff from, and I think this is a stretch, by the way, that they might tie in stuff from Legends books where they were trying to clone Luke and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, listen, you pull out something like that, I'm not going to be complaining, but I think we're probably reaching to think that's going to happen or something like that. But I don't know. It could just all be, you know, a very just long, repetitive plan that eventually will tie into everything. And even if there's not a middle, you know, a buffer between them, I don't know. They're definitely cloning something there. I'm sure whatever was in that, I don't know if it was a chamber or whatever's there, like that Palpatine and whatnot we're looking at. I'm sure that door's going to open eventually. We're going to find out.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think something is coming that's bigger than like what we're going to be known to, because I feel like what's the planet there on Tyrannus?
Mount Tantus?
Yeah, Mount Tantus.
Like, I feel like that's not the only place they're cloning. I feel like it's very secretive. Like, no one's going to know yet of where that planet is. But I think there's more planets that are going to be cloning secret planets that we don't even know the names of, that we won't even see probably until...
Yeah, I mean, they kind of showed that in the second episode, right? Where Hunter and Wrecker were trying to find their exact location, but they found an abandoned location where an experiment has gone wrong, which I thought that was pretty cool to see those. What is it? Those vines?
The glitter vines. They were coming out like a cobra.
Yeah. That was interesting, just because it's like, man, this is obviously, like you said, a plan done wrong. But it's like, well, what were they trying for here? Are we going to go back to that, or is that just like kind of a dead idea that the Empire had? That's why they abandoned it.
Yeah, because that's Hemlock's laboratory. That was where he started everything. So what, in reality, what were you trying to do with the vines, like the slithered vines? Like, you knew they were going to attack you. Like, you must be an imbecile if you don't think they're going to attack you. You can't make them like, okay, you're going to attack those people. You're not going to attack the Empire. You know what I mean? So, like, you can't control that. You could put it in, like, a sector, like a section of the planet, of course. But you can't make a whole planet. The whole planet's going to be covered in that sooner or later. But, yeah, I don't know what they were trying to get out. I don't think we'll know, really, what was in there, maybe in later episodes, But that's just a guess.
I think Palpatine's ultimate goal was, like, power and control. So it's like any experiments to like give him that, right? So give him that kind of access and power and fear, these creatures and whatnot, and the cloning. I think that will all be in his favor to like be the like emperor, the emperor in the end.
The emperor.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of episode 2 with the cadets? I thought it was awesome just seeing a couple, abandoned regs, as they called them, just surviving on their own.
Voiced by Daniel Logan.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was pretty neat to look at, like how they looked in teenage years. Like, I don't think we ever looked at them like that.
No, we only saw them as like not infants,
small,
but like small, like probably like 8 years old, probably.
And then either that or adults, but never like teenage.
And they look like Daniel Logan. Like they look like him from Attack of the Clones if you really do the animation. Like they look exactly like him. And I think it was good to see. Like I totally forgot about those people. Like the cadets, I totally forgot about them, that they even existed. And I'm glad that they brought them back. And I hope we see more because, the cadets are going to grow up to be troopers. They're going to have, and we see what was that? What was the guy's name that the Bad Batch went to on the first season? He's on that planet. He was
in the like refugee.
Yeah. They were trying
island?
to the planet. Say that again.
Like the refugee planet with the
no, not the refugee planet. But the planet with the saber-toothed lion.
I do not remember. I'll be honest.
He was married to the Twi'lek.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what his name is though.
Yeah.
Run, not run.
Because there was like the Omega was like playing with the kid, and the ball went behind the thing, and
his kids. I don't know if they're his kids. I really don't. They don't look nothing like him. But the cadets, and when they grow up, they're gonna at least marry or have people. They're gonna have clone kids, So I feel like the cloning doesn't stop just with the clones there, But it's good to see the clone cadets back And I hope we see more of that. I really hope we do see more of the clone cadets.
I did like how the one was talking about. It's like, oh, I dreamed about being, in the fight one day. And I'm like, by the end of this season, that dude's going to be on the front lines just tearing it up. Like, there's no way they just drop that line for no reason. Like, he's going to be, in the fight.
He's going to say hello to my little friend and go, da-da-da-da,
He's gonna, dude. He's going to take out some freaking stormtroopers. He's going to be sick.
Yeah, that's gonna
They'll probably give him a little armor or something so he really feels welcomed.
And you know what I feel the most bad about the clones with? I was saying this in my mind at my friend's house. I was like, I feel so bad for these clones because they killed the Jedi. They killed their generals, shot them down, or Jedi shoot. They killed those people that cared for them, and now look at them now.
Mm-hmm.
The Empire, Sidious just used them. Thank you for fighting my war, and now we're gonna get people that we're gonna not run out of. We're gonna start with humans. And I feel bad because it's like, well, look what you became. Look what you have with the Republic, and now look at your Empire. Some clones are still in high ranks there, like the Commandos. You see the Commandos are still clones. But how long does that go for? How long will that wear off? And then Sidious is done with you. Unless you reach your age limit. Clones go faster than humans, and Omega does like Boba Fett. She ages like Boba Fett, like a regular human. But what did you guys think? So we go back to episode 1. We see that dynamic with Crosshair and Omega. So what do you guys think? That was really interesting with me because I'd never seen it before until that episode. Crosshair's hand. Like, is it like arthritis? Like no, not being funny, but is it like arthritis? Is it
right
that he's like, he has fear, like he's scared? Because he used to be like
yeah, it's definitely gonna mess up with his aim now.
Yeah. So this is gonna come into effect when they rejoin the Bad Batch, because they're gonna need Crosshair at the top. Shooting down people from like
we initially saw like his handshake, and I was trying to think, I was like, was there anything in season 2 where like his hand got shot or something, or glazed him? But I was like, no, there wasn't. So I think he must have just been like nervous in the moment because like he tried to escape and it didn't work out, and they're just taking from this dude every day, and you see him like completely defeated in episode 1. So I think the thought of maybe escaping or to talk about the clones again, like, and getting out of this cell, he was probably just like kind of shook. I don't know. That's what at least I took from it.
And then Omega was like, your hand. And so I don't know if it's him aging and him just holding his gun so much, maybe like it
might be the experience, but it might also be that they're taking, they're probably taking his blood too, which is making him weak
from the hand.
From the hand, and like he doesn't. I feel like they don't do any movements all day, and you're just getting your blood sucked out, every day.
Yeah.
It's like a vampire.
That is a possibility, but I mean, I was also trying to think of season 2, but like, did he get enough fist fight with someone? Did he mess up his wrist? But no, he didn't. He did not. So,
but in reality, that shouldn't mess up anybody's wrist. These people be hitting people with their helmets on and everything. So I'm like, your hand is not broken. So
yeah,
that's not a good point. But yeah, and the dynamic of Crosshair from episode 1 to 3, we see how he was like, oh, well, I would have left you. And then
I love that line. I thought it was great.
And then like Omega goes back at him, and Omega knows, like, you're not going to leave me here. You know that, Crosshair. I know that. And I was like, okay, she's a little force sensitive because she was like, you're lying. Like, she felt that. And she didn't hesitate. She just like, you're lying. Like, points it out. And then you go fast forward to episode 3, and it's like,
Now they're working together. But you know what? I like that scene in episode 1. It just reminds me of like, like a brother and sister. Like there's a heated argument. Like that's how they would talk to each other. Like I would leave you in a heartbeat. Like
I wouldn't leave you guys though. Just so you guys know, I wouldn't leave you guys.
I would leave you, Chris.
I probably would trip you, Rick. Rick, see you later, Rick. I'll see you on the other side. You know?
I'll throw you to the doghounds that are chasing us.
Can we talk about those hounds? Batcher is I'm protecting Batcher at all costs. No one better hurt that puppy. Don't be here for me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's a cute one. He's a cute one.
I like the second they made their way into the wilderness in episode 3, I was like, oh, we're seeing that thing. And then he pops up a minute later and then leaves with them. I was like, oh my god, this guy's a whole character now.
Yeah, like it's so cool. I love that's why I feel like I connect Ahsoka with Omega. And I think Omega is like one of my favorite characters also. You know, because you just see how she acts. She's like just like Ahsoka. If you put Ahsoka with Omega, they'll be like besties. You know what I mean? Because Ahsoka cares for people and Omega cares for people. She just doesn't care for herself. You know, she doesn't care for like she cares for herself. Like she doesn't care for herself. You know, if she dies, as long as she's saving her brothers, you know, as long as she's doing something, she's okay with that. You know? And I think that's a Jedi like heroic thing about the Jedi. Like some Jedi were like with themselves, all about themselves, you know. But with Omega, yeah, she might be force sensitive. I'm not saying she's gonna get a lightsaber. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying if she was a Jedi back in the Republic days, I think she would have been a great Jedi. And I think
that's a trait for the clones themselves too. Like how many times in the Clone Wars, I think episode 1 of the Clone Wars, like one of them gets messed up and he's like, just leave me, and they're like, no, like nobody gets left behind. So, like,
and we keep thinking like she's a clone also, you know. We forget that, like, oh yeah, shit, oh yeah, Omega is a clone, you know. We forget that because sometimes I'm like, when they do those clone things on Instagram, like, oh, circle your top 3 clones or top 5 clones, and I'm like, oh, why is Omega there? Oh wait, she's a clone. like you gotta realize she's still a clone, and she has so much heart, she has so much fight, and she didn't give up to escape, and then finally she did, because in reality they were gonna get shot down. You know, we all know that here. They were gonna probably die or probably get shot down. Their ship was gonna get shot down, but then the sister stopped it because our M count, and then they take off hyperspace, and that's really much it for the episode, guys.
Yeah. What'd you think of her sister and like Omega, like getting closer?
I really think she's controlling. Like something's controlling her. Because no way you're just like a robot. Yeah. You know? Like if you really pay attention to the way she speaks, Omega, why don't you come back with us? You know, I will delete all of this. You know, you can come back with us. Like you sound like you're getting controlled, because in reality, if Omega was my sister and I'm there and Omega and Crosshair are about to escape, I'm going, bye, bitch, I'm leaving too. See you later. You know, and I'm running out the gate with them. You know, I'm not staying with the Empire.
I think it's just like Nala Se, who like doesn't want to be doing what she's doing, but she's under this Empire control, so she has to. Yeah. And like her Omega's sister, I definitely I think I said it in my reaction video in episode 1. I was like, I could definitely see her. Obviously, this part didn't end up happening, like helping Omega escape, but I could definitely see her just ending up on Omega's side. Not that she isn't, but just like completely dispatching from the Empire eventually and just being like, yeah, I gotta, get out of here, basically.
Yeah, I think Omega is making her realize she's a clone as well, and I feel like she's not really seeing what's happening to the other clone. She's just following orders, just like every clone does. But as soon as like you have that like human instinct, like a wake up call, like oh shoot, like like just like Crosshair, we definitely saw that. I mean that's why we saw him so defeated in this episode 1. But with the sister, I think like she just got a little of that hint towards her, Omega.
Yeah, I think just a little.
Just a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think like even with like the Lula, like she made Lula, like
yeah. Oh yeah. What do you think about that Lula?
I would take
Lula 2.0. You're taking home?
That's like Lula.
You buying the merchandise?
Yeah, I would buy the merchandise with that. I don't think do I have even a Lula here? I don't think I even have Lula here. I try to make my own Lula, Like I did, like they gave you the parts and everything. They came out so like fat. I was like, it's not Lula.
That's adorable.
Like,
would you take that Lula home, Noah?
I mean, can't say I would, but I appreciate the effort that she made. Putting it together. She was stacking that hay for a while.
Yeah, it was pretty cute. It was nice.
And now, what do you guys think of Hunter and Wrecker?
Hunter.
Yeah, like they're both alone now.
Yeah, I enjoyed that episode too, man. The little thing with the syndicate, whatever it was at the beginning, I thought was interesting. And then
with the
pike member. Yeah, that was super cool. And then like I said earlier, like just running into these couple like regs that escaped was like, I just thought a super cool idea, like that we really haven't seen. Like there's just a couple of clone kids that somehow surviving. Like I thought that was sick. And then just getting to see like, because we've seen like, I don't want to say side missions and like adventures that really don't matter in the Bad Batch, but like we've seen stuff where it's just like almost like a filler, like getting us to the next point. But this felt like they were going on one of those random adventures, but like actually with a purpose for once, if that makes sense. So like I still enjoyed it. And like, even though at the end it made it seem like they were going to split apart from those cadets, and they probably will for a little bit, I definitely see them getting, like I said earlier, back in action, them getting picked up eventually and being like, yeah, all the clones are getting together for a fight or something like that,
And I think that's the most, like, I thought like we were going to see in these first couple episodes like an uproar, like the plan of it. Like we're definitely going to see that still. But I think I feel like we're not going to have an uproar now.
We're not going to have what?
An uproar, like a clone uproar. I don't think
we are, and I think we're gonna start seeing it once they group up with Rex and Echo.
Yeah,
I think. Because they're gonna plan to infiltrate that Mount
Tantus.
Whenever Cody comes back in this show, like he's gonna be fired up.
Cody, I really hope we see Cody with Rex. Like I just want them just to stand next to each other.
Yeah, but you know what? They're probably going to meet up and then they're going to talk. They're like, we have to rescue Omega. And then Rex is probably going to be like, well, we should probably rescue everyone. Right?
Yeah.
I just free all the clones. Yeah, absolutely. They're just going to go there and see all their, especially like Rex and stuff. Like they're just going to go there, see all their brothers, and then just leave them. They're like, they're planning to be infiltrate that entire place. Yeah. Which God knows how many are actually there, because we only saw a handful technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a whole big three mountains of it.
I'm excited, man.
It is.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
I'm excited for you.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Now I want to ask, what do you guys think of the little reminders of Tech, of Omega missing? Of Hunter and Wrecker and how they have to take control now. Like Hunter's like, we need to go in there, but Wrecker's like, we should not go in there.
And Wrecker's usually one that's like, let's blow something up. Like he's ready for the fight. But in this case, he was like, you can see like, I don't know, it's maybe a level of maturity in him just based off everything that's happened, which is like interesting to see.
Now, where do you think? So we see in season 2, we saw Rex's little base down in the dumps of where Ralpha and where Ahsoka met those girls, the sisters, Ralpha's sisters. Do you think the clones will have a base? Do you think we'll see a base for the clones? Just like what we see in Battlefront, Yavin, something like that. Do you think we'll see something like that? Not with no ships or anything, but maybe ammo.
That would be pretty sick, especially if it's I don't even know, somebody who we haven't seen that is still alive, that maybe they were prepping for this the whole time, So I can't think of any clones off the top of my head. We haven't seen Gregor. Have we seen Gregor in season 1 or 2? I don't believe so, right? Or did we?
Yeah, we've seen.
All right. I don't know who could possibly be that one clone who survived this whole time, but has been prepping everything behind the scenes or something, like somebody that has the base ready to go, and then Rex finds out and they all go there or something like that.
Yeah, I think Rex has been doing that, right? Because Hunter asked him like, why don't you like just stay with us? But Rex is like, no, there's a bigger cause that that I have to do something about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's mentioned that before, and I think this is what he's been doing this entire time.
And now, do you guys think Rex will see Bail Organa? He meets up with Bail Organa to do the rebellion, Rex?
I would be surprised.
Because then we get him like in Rebels, like I'm retired, they discontinued us. But like I said, you have 15 years until that happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Rebels takes place 15 years after Revenge of the Sith, and then like maybe a couple years before The New Hope.
Yeah, and we're like 3-4 years after Revenge of the Sith right now. So I mean, we got like a good chunk of time. I guess it really just depends on like if how we were talking on your show last week, like and obviously there's no plans for this seemingly, but unless they were like doing a Rex show or something to give us more in between, that I would assume that we get something like that at the end of this, where there's just kind of like the end of Revenge of the Sith, where we see Obi-Wan go to Tatooine, we see Yoda go here, like we see where everybody dispatches off to. So maybe we'll see Rex and kind of his whereabouts right before Rebels or something like that.
And see where Cody goes. Cody could be alive in Rebels. We just don't. We have so many unanswered questions.
He either dies here or he lives to be in a possible Kenobi season 2 if they ever make that. So we'll see.
So guys, before we go, what are next week's episode's predictions? Noah, you go first.
Oh man, I wish I had the title of the episode in front of me. I know they're like out there, but I can't think of it right now. So just rolling these predictions. All right. Well, we went from Omega and Crosshair to Hunter and Wrecker back to Omega and Crosshair in the 3rd episode. So I'm gonna guess we're gonna catch up with Hunter and Wrecker next week. But and I can honestly see them because they said they were gonna drop those kids off at, and I think everybody assumed that that island where we saw the tsunami almost come in. Yeah, last season. So maybe they're just going to go back there and literally drop the cadets off and then kind of put together a new plan. And maybe the end of the episode is them going off to either meet Rex or go to somewhere else because they got new coordinates or something like that. I'm not expecting a crazy episode next week. I'm expecting I don't even say a cooldown week because we had just a 3-episode banger in my opinion, but I don't know. I think next week's going to be real Hunter and Wrecker focused, and then the end of the episode will set them up for their next adventure, like where they're going next after they drop these kids off.
Rick, your turn. You're up.
Ding ding ding. I think, we might see Hunter and Wrecker. They probably, go back to the island, return those cadets, and then probably down along the line, they reunite with Omega and Hunter. But I think that might happen first, or we might see some bounty hunter action, already looking for Omega, right?
That would be pretty sweet.
Just like the scientist said, he pretty much has any resources disposable, from the Emperor.
Yeah.
So we might I feel like there might be some chases with bounty hunters looking for Omega.
Because we see them in the trailer.
Soon. Yeah, we did see them in the trailer.
Maybe next week's episode is all Hunter and Wrecker, but then they do cut to Dr. Hemlock at the end of the episode, where they're setting up, making that call to say to fill in the blank bounty hunter or whoever else. So then next week. Without knowing who's coming, all right, somebody's about to be on the hunt. Kind of leaving you on that cliffhanger or something.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you?
What do you think?
Yeah, I need your predictions.
What's the prediction, Chris?
You guys said some good predictions. I think they're all going to die now.
You know what?
I can see it.
I can see it. Besides Omega, I feel like she'd probably be the only one to survive.
You know what, Rick? See, Rick and Noah and other people that are having the show, I just can't stand you people. So they're not going to die. I promise you that. I don't think they will.
I don't think somebody will survive. Not including Omega. Somebody out of the original 5 will survive.
Well, we know. Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'm
not expecting all of them to survive.
That's my prediction for the whole season. I think they're all going to survive and live happily ever after.
Is that a real prediction? Like, where's that coming from, though? Is that what you want or what you think? Because they're two different things.
I think I want it and I need it.
Right.
But my prediction for next week, like you guys said, like Hemlock is coming for Omega. But I think Omega and Crosshair are gonna go. They're gonna go find Wrecker and Hunter. That's the first thing I feel like we're gonna see. They're gonna go maybe towards the end of the episode. We see them reunite. Probably not. I'm just guessing that, predicting that. But someone said on Twitter that Azad's Ventress is coming, but is she a bounty hunter also after the Bad Batch, trying to get Omega back?
That'd be. Listen, I don't think Ventress didn't come back just to die in the Bad Batch. Like she's got more to come. Like as we have discussed in the past. So like
So to me, it made sense, but it doesn't make sense at a point because you're doing Empire's work, but you need money to live. That makes more sense too. But with Azad's Ventress history with Palpatine, Dooku, and stuff like that, I don't think it will happen like that. I think she's going to help the Bad Batch, or maybe not, because the Bad Batch are shooting at her, as we see in the trailer, but that could be like, not Photoshop, but that could be like two different scenes right there.
Yeah, well, it could be a fight until afterwards when they have the Discord. Like, Mando was about to throw down with Ahsoka, or vice versa, right before they, like, broke the ice, Right, so.
Yeah. So that could be a possibility, but I don't think we're going to see that in episode 4. I think we're going to see that maybe episode 6 or 7 with Azad's Ventress coming. But my predictions for next week, I think Crosshair and Omega will reunite with Wrecker and Hunter and meet Batcher. Yay, Batcher! I love Batcher. That's my new guy now. Can
I just say one thing I loved from episode 3 was once Hemlock finds out about the M count of Omega, he's just like, let him go. And I think I liked it that he just let them go, because it just showed you how important whatever they're doing must be, where he's like, oh no, she has to be alive. Just let her go. We'll find her again. Yeah. Like, I thought that was like actually super cool.
Yeah, because he knows the importance of Omega. You know, he knows that now. So if she's dead,
then the plan goes out the window. So he's like, all right, you know what? We captured her before. Well, as he said, we have all the tools of the Empire at our disposal. We'll figure out another way. And I was like, it's pretty cool.
So, and
Empire's playing chess, not checkers.
Yeah, play.
That's how they play. That's how they play.
You like jazz, But yeah, I think next week we're going to see Crosshair and Omega reunite, and I think we're going to see.
What about Tech?
You know what, Rick?
What about Tech?
Eventually.
That might be the K Trooper thing.
Oh, that like Trooper that we saw in the trailer, like that.
Yeah, that's
he's leading a battalion.
Yeah, I don't know, like something like that. Because I think the Empire is going to find out where Pabu is and take over Pabu. Because we see that in the trailer. We see this. If you really look at it, we see Pabu. So Pabu, I don't know what they showed. I don't know if they showed the first 8 episodes, because people watch 1 through 8. Critics have watched 1 through 8. We only got 1, 2, and 3. So whatever they showed in the trailers is not the whole season. Star Wars is not like that at all.
No, especially Dave Filoni. He'll show you everything from like 1 and 2, and then leave you just blind for the rest of the season. I mean, all the Ahsoka trailers up until like the day of was literally just like episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah. And then maybe 1 episode of Thrawn walking in from the back of his head.
But you saw nothing. You're going in blind to the rest of them. So like, I expect they're outside of the little things like a Cad Bane and a Fennec that we know are coming. Like the majority, we're probably going in mostly blind.
Yeah, and I think there's more surprises to come.
Yeah, which I prefer, by the way.
Yeah, me too. I prefer that too.
You think we're getting a Fennec and Cad Bane rematch?
I don't like that. Like, and I'm going to tell you why I don't like that. Fennec Shan knows who Cad Bane is in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where, like, I don't need it. You know, yeah. I'm not like, oh my god, they're going at it. It's just like I'm here to see you guys do some work, but like I don't need the matchup. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like I feel like when the price is right, they will do whatever it takes.
Fair.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
I feel like we might see a rematch, and I think it would be pretty cool because I remember the first time they were like trying to capture Omega, they both went at it pretty fairly, I'd say.
Since we're talking about this, before we skedaddle out of here, I feel like the big question that still a lot of people are wondering.
Tech is gone.
No, I think Tech's alive. But besides that, Boba Fett? Question mark in this season?
I maybe. I'll say I'm gonna give it 50-50. It depends where it leads to. The story has to be right. It can't just. I thought Boba Fett was that kid, the cadet. I was like, that sounds like Boba.
Yeah. Well, then it's like, oh wait, they all sound like Boba, kind of. So.
Yeah, they all sound like him. But I think it has to make sense. Maybe he comes in and helps the Bad Batch. Maybe he's heard of this clone Omega, like my sister. Maybe he hears about that. Or maybe we don't see that at all because in the Book of Boba Fett, we didn't get that at all either. So, like, maybe we don't get anything, until further down the line. But
yeah. Listen, if we see it, I'm down, but it's not one of those things where, like, sometimes as fans, I'm sure we've all been guilty of this. Sometimes we'll think something up in our head so much that when it doesn't happen, we're like, damn it, it ruined it. But, like, I know some people are probably, like, out here expecting Boba Fett. Like, if he doesn't show up, but, like, I'm not. All right, it's fine. Yeah. It's just kind of such a speculation thing.
It'll be fine. But it would be really cool to see him, though. But I think it would have to be, like, really meaningful to see him. It would be pretty cool though to see like this kind of animation, Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Everybody in animation is just so much cooler.
Animation is the best. Bias.
Oh, dude, we talked about it, man.
Tech is gone.
We talked about it, man. I'll take animation all day. So
hey, Tech is alive in our hearts, Rick. He does this to me all the time. He even
I don't know.
Like, Omega's a Palpatine. Remember that, Rick? Remember that? Yeah, I still have those memories.
Oh, yeah, she is. I mean...
So I still got my receipts.
Yeah, she is Palpatine. That's why they need to capture her. They need to capture her.
I would cry if that happened. I would not watch it no more. I would be like, come on! Another one? Like,
Chris would be like, another one,
yeah. Click it off. Done.
Oh, man.
But, guys, before we head out, like I always do, Noah, where can everybody find you on the social medias?
Well, I'm on X, TikTok, and well as Instagram at Noah Nation Vlogs. And as for YouTube, you can go over to the Rogue Nation YouTube channel. We just uploaded the episode 1, 2, and 3 live reactions, 3 a.m. reactions, and we'll be doing those every single week for the Bad Batch. So, yeah, you can go find me over there.
I will. Nice. I found it already, just so you know.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Very much
Rick, where can everybody find you on the social media?
Everyone can find me on Instagram at Star Wars Rick.
Wow, that was
I just followed while we were doing it. If you heard me clicking, it's because I was trying to like type but not be so loud while doing it.
Who is this guy? Let's see what this Rick character.
I wanted to. While it was on my screen, I wanted to follow.
Yeah, man.
We're a classy show.
Yeah.
So if you heard this. Yeah, I don't even think you picked up. But if you heard the keyboard,
I did hear that actually.
No, I didn't even hear it. Didn't hear it, no. But that's all right, guys. Now we're besties. But thank you guys for joining us on the Scevoli Tano Show, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe down below to the YouTube channel, the Scevoli Tano Show, for more awesomeness, guys. All this in one place. This, not those two. Me in one place. But we accept Noah and Rick at an extent.
Right.
But
thanks,
thank you guys for joining us.
I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, Rick. See, I added you in there. I included you. You're welcome.
Thanks.
That's more where that came from. Don't worry.
All right.
But guys, thank you for joining us. Noah, Rick, always a pleasure to have you guys on the show. Come back anytime, which you guys will, because I will force you. And then there we go. Be kind to one another, guys, and may the force be with you.
Always.
Bye.
In my life, when you find people people who need your help, you help them. No matter what.